today I installed 40mm ammo cans in the back of the LJ project. It was very simple install. Basic tools were needed, drill, and a couple wrenches and whatnot. The main thing I want to point out is to be very careful on each side where clearance issues might be. On this side, on the passenger side, you have all the evap, like all the emissions control equipment, like right behind here. So you just gotta make sure that you go far enough forward to be able to put the bolts in on this side. The other side, it was the gas tank, nozzle or the gas tank port. So just a heads up on that. That side I ended up having to do 5 bolts on because I didn't realize that. But yeah, don't make my same mistake. Anyway, so I used grade 8 hardware for the bolt and the lock nut, and then I used a stainless steel fender washers in between the bolt and the fender here, and then on top I did another fender washer, stainless steel fender washer, and then a jam nut, so I can take these in and out without having to take off the inner fender every time I want to do so. And then I used a rubber washer that was the same thickness as the jam nut, and used that to basically spread the load, not just to lay it on top of that jam nut, but to also keep vibration down. And then the box, and then another fender washer, and then the lock nut. So it was a lot of hardware. It was ended up being about $30 in hardware the way I did it, but I think it turned out great, and I don't expect it to have any problems. The basic install, which I'll put at the the video of me doing it at the end, but just as a quick sum, you're going to want to do is, like I said, take out the inner fender, make sure that you have the clearance issues figured out, put the box down. I did 13 inches from back here to the edge of this, and then 8 inches from the edge of the tub, not the lip, but like the actual edge of the tub, over to here. Same on this side, it was 13. Same on that side, 13 to 8. It gives shoulder room for the passengers here, and it stays out of the way. It doesn't interfere with the seat belt. It turned out great, so that's the one I would recommend for LJ. So yeah, what I did was put the box down where you want it after you measured it. I used masking tape here to measure, make sure I didn't move. And then I started from the front, because there's not going to be any clearance issues at the front if you're doing it on an LJ. And then once you drilled your first hole, drop in a bolt, go underneath, measure back to where you have clearance issues, and then come inside, put the masking tape down where you have that clearance issue at, and then drill the rest of your holes. Plenty of space still in the seat. When you're sitting here, no clearance issues. So yeah, no problems with clearance right here. It's pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Alright, so we have to modify the ammo box so that when we open it, it'll actually want to open all the way, because right now it's interfering with this lip here. So what I'm going to do is basically just force it back. So if you watch, just forcing it back. What that's doing is bending the lip back. See? So do it again. Lock this in place, and then forcing it back. I want to get a nice motion here. There we go. That should do it. That should be more than enough. See how it's bent versus this one? This one's 90 degrees. This one is bent back. Easy to do, but it allows you to open the lid up back into the roll bar. So the first thing you have to do is take out the inner fender. You're going to find a push one here, which is actually attached to the fender, and then Christmas tree type fasteners right here, and right here, and then the other one there's one right here, and then all the way back here. So there should be 4 Christmas tree fasteners, and then these 2 up here, and that should allow you enough room to drop this part of the inner fender down. And all those are reusable if you pop them out right. I like it. The stock ones are flat, but if you get these kind, that first time you replace them, you can take them out with a crowbar. Super simple, no special tool needed. All right, and now you just push these out. All right, and that should be low enough for you to get in there. Now that we've taken out the inner fender, we can come up here and start placing the box where we want it. Now I already did the other side, and so I know I'm roughly 13 inches from the back here to the back of the ammo can, and then from the edge of the tub to the outside of the ammo can I want about 8 inches. So that's just a rough start to get us where we want to be. So we can go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and pop the lid off because we don't need that until before we put the nuts on. So we'll pop that up here. Alright, slide this in, and we go back and measure our points. I like that edge. I'm going to go ahead and mark the tape. Hope I actually use the pen. Alright, this is just so we're drilling, if it starts to move on us, we'll know where to put it back to before we go down the last time. Alright, so now measure from the back of the tub. And this is going to be rough because on this side you got the hinges, so this is all built out. So the feeling, basically what you want to do is get it to where you want it. I want it back as far as I can without interfering with the seat belt. So we're going to go back just a hair more. Alright, I kind of like that. And I think that's going to be it right there. Okay, so we got our 8 mark. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and trace out the edge here. Alright. With that done, we can start drilling. So like I said, we got the evap and all that stuff under here. So instead of trying to figure out how far back and all that stuff, we're going to go ahead and start from the front where we know we can drill and not have any clearance issues, and work our way back. So once we do the front one, I'm going to go underneath, double check how far back we can go. Once you've cleaned up the holes, it's nice and smooth, get all the burrs out of the way. Now we can start feeding the bolts up from the bottom. Now, I'm doing this by myself, so I had to get a little clever, because I don't have anyone under there to feed it up and hold it there while I put the jam nut on and all that. So what I've been doing is I've been taking the fender washer and stuff like that, putting it up through, and then using like a crowbar to keep pressure on the bottom here until I can come around and put on the jam nut and washer. Alright. Fender washer, jam nut. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so I had to run back up to the store real quick. They didn't have stainless steel fender washers, but they did have these zinc plated ones. So I already had thrown the one underneath to here, that's stainless steel, but so everything underneath is stainless steel, let's put it that way. The ones that are going to be in the cab, some are, some aren't. So I'm going to make basically a nut up here that I can tighten down on. Just taking 2 jam nuts and then tightening them down to each other. Alright, I wonder if I need to go one more. We can try it like this. Now slide this down. You have to get these to line up. And try. There we go. These rubber washers right here happen to be just as thick as the jam nut. And this is a 1/2 inch drill bit. What I'm going to do is take a bungee cord and wrap this lid up. So it's up and out of my way. I'm less likely to fall and kill or hit me. What are we hitting? Ah, handle. Alright. One's good. Alright, slid on down. So now I'm going to go fender washer and lock nut and tighten it all down. Alright, now we can test it out. The back lid's good, just bring it forward and pop it down. Turned out really well. Happy with that. Looks even with the other one too.